I tell you what, if you've been watching the past couple weeks, then you know that there's the UK trip coming up, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And, of course, the time is now here. If you're looking forward to seeing some Big Ben, Kew Gardens, Buckingham Palace, and, of course, some English fishing, then this is a video for you. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go to London, everyone! Well, after having been on a plane from the US to Zambia, I have to say that the 8-hour plane ride from Boston to London was rather nice. Flying with Delta, I watched a handful of movies, and before we knew it, we were taking the London Tube to our hotel. Unfortunately, our hotel was more like an Airbnb passing as a hotel, so we weren't able to check in, which left us heading to a restaurant in the rain for a multi-hour long breakfast, which, as we found out over time, restaurants in Europe really don't care how long you stay, because the workers all get paid an hourly wage no matter how many customers they get, so they didn't mind us sitting there for 3 hours eating breakfast. After we finally dropped our bags off at this quote-unquote hotel, we started walking towards the sights. Looks very Europe-y, doesn't it? Looks like Europe. Travel was very easy around London because my wife had loaded these Oyster cards for the tube before we arrived. This, combined with a lot of walking, had us touring around most of the popular sites in London in about 2 days. We were able to see Buckingham Palace, the Victoria Memorial, which is right in front of Buckingham Palace, breaking for a lunch of fish and chips, Churchill statues, Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, as well as ride the London Eye all in one day before heading back to the hotel and grabbing a Sunday roast before bed. That was really cool. It's one thing to see things online and stuff, and another thing to be there in person, so it's a thumbs up from me. The next morning, we traveled to Kew Gardens, which may not be the destination everyone would take one in London, but as a modern-day outdoorsman, I enjoy gardening. Very plain. Alright, so we're at Kew Gardens right now. It's hard to narrate because there's so many planes going over all the time. It was made back in 1759, I want to say. It's one of the largest and most diverse garden collections in the world. So we're gonna go around, see what we can find around here, see if there's anything. I know there's cool stuff, so we just need to go out and find it. That was the Palmer House, which is pretty cool. Hitting a little closer to home. Ooh, really? It's crazy how humid it is in these rainforest areas just to keep these plants fine. It's kind of interesting when they put those in the garden, they use this marketing thing with a girl standing on those lily pads, and so everyone thought that you could walk on them, but you can't. They'll just completely fall in. So they've put guardrails on the whole thing so that no one would try to step on the lily pads. You see that giant? You know what those are? Okay. Really wasn't being on camera today. That was the Princess of Wales Conservatory. Ooh. I was just reading the card on that. It said that the
bark around it is swirled, and that's where the designers in Harry Potter came up with the swirled bark of the Whomping Willow, which is kind of cool. It's a lot of stairs. That was the treetop walk. Pretty neat. Had some interesting factoids about trees, and there's supposed to be an elevator coming soon. We just missed it by that much. Enjoy the stairs. Said that that tree was made from one other tree that was only found in the wild. So only one tree in the wild, and every other tree that's in a garden house is based off of that one tree.
It's proof that I was here.
So we're at the Natural History Museum in London, checking things out. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to going through here.
So one note I would make about Natural History Museum is that it's a free attraction, which is fantastic for families, but also means it's super busy. We got our tickets the day before to skip the line, but you could also get them a few hours before you plan to go. Time with Dippy the Diplodocus was also mentioned when we reserved the tickets. You kind of had to like sign up for it additionally. However, when we got there, no one was keeping track of it, so it may not even matter.
So evidently Dippy is a special thing that's only here for a limited time before it moves on somewhere else. So it's lucky we had good timing. Got to see Dippy.
As someone who loves nature and considers myself a bit of an explorer in a way, I did find it really cool and almost inspiring to be in the same halls as so many explorers before me in our known world, and to see pieces of their history from their exploits was really very cool.
It's a chimpanzee skeleton.
Plus, I was excited to see the whale skeleton, which was awesome. Throughout our 3 days in London, we visited over 6 pubs, my favorite of which was a pub called Samuel Pepys that overlooked the Thames and Tower Bridge. I ate fish and chips 4 times at 4 different locations and can confirm the best fish and chips are at the pubs they claim they've been serving since the mid-1800s. We also joined a ghost tour for one of the nights where we drove around in a dark double-decker bus, but unfortunately I was not able to record anything. But if you enjoy that sort of thing, ghosts and whatnot, I would recommend it. It was kind of fun. The next morning, we took off, suitcases in tow, to catch the train from London to Leicester. I had never ridden a passenger train before, but it was relatively carefree. We showed up, they scanned our ticket like at a concert or a sports game, we sat in our assigned seat and rode half an hour to our destination at 125 miles per hour. The experience made me wish we had more trains like this in the United States, as we'd get places in nearly half the time we would driving and without all the hassle of security at airports.
Oh, well, long train ride from London to Leicester, but we finally made it, and I am super tired, and it's only like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just ready to go fishing. I'm right there. We need to go to the tackle shop. All right, guys, we have finally made it to Angling Direct, which is pretty cool. It's been about a 1.5 mile walk from the hotel, but it's hopefully gonna be worth it. Let's go see. I know some guys who would lose their cool in here, dump $1,000 in this place. Well, we've made it down to the canal. Well, as long as I don't get attacked by any swans, I think we should be good. We have got something new today. I am honestly... it's not a question of if it'll break, it's when it will break, is what I'm curious about. It is a telescopic rod. Couldn't tell you who it's by. Plus, 7 foot, medium heavy power, 10 to 20 pound line. We're not using 10 to 20 pound line today. We are using much lighter line, but it's good to know that it can handle that, I guess, if we decide to go after carp, which will be interesting. But I see some spots over here that look pretty good. I think we might tie on a lure at first and toss out for some perch, and if we don't catch any perch, then maybe we'll tie on a float of some sort, a waggler, and go for some small fish, if that's the case. Alrighty, this is gonna be our lure of the morning until we switch to doing some float fishing, so let's give it a shot and see how it does. Also, got a new hat. Told my wife if I went to the tackle shop and I saw a hat I liked, I'd get it since she hated my last one, so yeah, got a new hat. Oh yeah, off to a good start. Swan. Oh god, this swan's got my line caught around him. Turn around, swan, turn around. Oh jeez. That was a nightmare, small nightmare. No freaking way, dude. First fish here. It's a freaking pike. Get my net out of here. See if we can get him in here. There we go. Top notch. Wow, that is something. Alrighty. Well, only been out here for, I don't even know, 15 minutes, but first fish and my first pike ever. Which is just wild. It's a slippery little thing, which is why I probably can't hold on to it. There we go. First pike, very nice. I'm happy anyway. We'll have to get a weight on him and see what he is. Hi. Nice picture. Hey, thank you. Some big teeth though. Very cool. Let's get a quick weight on him. I'm gonna go ahead and say he's 24 inches long maybe. So let's get a weight on him real quick and get him back in the water. Take the weight of the net out afterwards, but I got 3.92. I'll have to weigh the net afterwards, but let's get him back in the water. All right, Mr. Pike, thanks for making my morning nice. Let's let him go. If he can find his way out of there. There he goes. All right, see you later. 1.2, just round down, I guess. 2.7 pounds on the pike. Right on, that's awesome. First pike ever, and it's in it's right here in the UK. 2.7, not a monster by any means, but we've got time today. See what else we can get into. I'm still excited for a perch. Never caught a perch either, and I feel like we have a pretty decent chance of getting one of those too. Maybe they're right there in that little puddle. So this whole area here, you can see the power lines. No fishing. That's what I keep saying. I keep wondering if I keep going this way, if I'll get out from underneath these power lines and finally be able to fish again. If not, then we're just on a really nice walk. Really nice, cool day. Couldn't have asked for better weather. Obviously rained this morning, but now it's quite nice. And hopefully the power lines stop after a ways and I stop seeing these no fishing signs. Or we'll just turn around. We'll just have to see. Ayleston Meadows, Gate J. Oh, left or right? Right kind of follows the power lines. Left kind of goes outside of them. No fishing beyond this point. So, I guess we're free to fish again. Well, there seems to be some fish eating along the top over here. They're very small, only like 6 inches long or shorter. And I can tell they have kind of red tails, red fins on them. I'm gonna have to look through my identification book and see if I can see anything. They might be juveniles of something, you know, small perch or something like that. In which case, maybe we'll get the maggots out and try for them. Here's our maggots. I do believe you just kind of hook them on the end here, and that way they keep wiggling. Of course, there's no barb on it, so hopefully they don't go everywhere. Alrighty, first float. Looks like all the fish are over here now. Okay, well, it seems to be sitting. Can't really tell. Oh, okay. There we go. Look at that. Easy peasy. Hey! Look at this guy. Okay, alright. So what do we got here? Is this a roach? Or is it something else? We're gonna have to find out. This is so fun. Okay, let's look. I am going to say that is a roach. Now look like a roach to you? GoPro does a horrible job. The red is more yellow, according to the book. So I'm gonna assume it's a roach. It's our first roach, everyone. Good deal. I love this. I love that every fish I catch is like a new species. So cool. So cool. All right. Just had a chat with the guy that came by there, so I didn't get to didn't film putting the roach back in. But yeah, super cool getting that little roach. And everyone that keeps coming by here is so friendly. They're all asking me about fishing in the United States, all want to know about bass fishing and stuff like that. So super cool. I'm enjoying this. This is a really cool experience so far. Though I will say I had my first run-in with some stinging nettles, and my fingers are still kind of stinging right now. You can see the little bumps on the inside there. Whoops. Not like poison ivy, though. I'm sure I'd rather have this than poison ivy. We'll just have to see. But let's get this back out there with some maggots and get some more. This is kind of fun. I think we've got one on there. Oh, I don't know. I think we need to get the fish identification book out again. Let's see what we got. Okie dokie. Could be a little dace, maybe. Or it could be a little baby chub, or a roach. What do you think? Can't really tell. We'll take a picture, and maybe the guys at the shop can tell me. Curious, very curious. It's tempting to use them as bait. Alright, back in the water with you. Boop. Just taking up the whole trail, aren't you? It has been a long time since my last bite, but I was reeling this one in and I could tell something grabbed it and it had stripes on it. So I think it might have been our first perch, but didn't hook up. Let's keep throwing this out and see if we can get him. Ooh, this guy came out of this tree right here. Might have to get the net out again. Cool. Well, pretty sure he gulped that one. There we go. Another pike on the day. Pretty cool. I am getting pretty excited to fish for these back in the US. These are pretty cool fish. Really slimy, but yeah, really cool. Yeah, Phil shows his teeth though without biting me. That's pretty wild. Really cool fish though. Let's get this out of his mouth and get him back in. There he goes. All right, bye buddy. That was cool. Oh my goodness. I literally just put my camera away too. I could see it getting hit under there. I could see it. And there we go. Our first perch. He's so small, but he's so cute. Yep, let's get the hook out of you, bud. Let's get it out of you, bud. Don't need that anymore, do ya? Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, hopefully we can save the big camera, but look at that guy. First perch. He couldn't be, I don't even know, 7 inches long and a few ounces. A quarter of a pound, if that. I mean, he, honestly, because he's so slender, he's probably smaller than a lot of bluegill that we have back home, sunfish and whatnot. But right on, first screen, little perch, beautiful stripes on him, and that will work. Let's get him back in the water. All right, bud, there you go. Nice. I had just caught that pike, and I was like, I'll do a few more casts. It's such a nice looking area. Look at this. You've got the tree that's down low right there. You've got this stuff hanging down into the water. And I just keep casting it in this direction. The pike I actually caught right here, casting out towards this tree. And he came out of the stuff right there. But you see this, you gotta take advantage of it. Throw out that little soft swim. Well, if I was smart, I would end it right here. We've caught what? A possible dace, roach, perch, pike. Is that it? Maybe. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good day, everybody. This has been a lot of fun out fishing. We got 2 more days of this, and I am super excited for it. So let's keep making our way down, see if we catch anything else. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy right now.
Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this sneak peek into the fishing of England. I do have a few more fish and scenes to show, however, that whole fishing video will be on our brother channel, The Modern Day Outdoorsman, where I will also show you my backpack of gear I brought with me to fish for these English fish, in case you decide to do a little fishing on your next venture. But let's end it on one more odd note before heading back home.
Absolutely. Well, that was pretty wild. Had that boatman get stuck in the vegetation coming up the river, and they needed help pulling him out. So that was an interesting experience. I did not think that I would be a part of, but you know what? We got him out of there, so that's good.
After this first day of fishing, I was pretty beat, so the second day was spent relaxing and exploring Leicester. I wandered into a college art show by accident, which was welcome because there was free wine and it reminded me of design school and college. Then my mind was blown when I found out that Richard Attenborough paid for the art and design building I was in, and come to find out later at the Leicester History Museum, both of the Attenborough brothers grew up roaming the halls of the University of Leicester. Yes, those Attenborough brothers.
Boo!
So naturally the museum was full of natural history, as well as art from a collection only the likes of which John Hammond could muster, or perhaps Santa Claus. Who knows? That night we also had an English beef Wellington, which was honestly one of the best things I've ever eaten.
Ooh. Well, we've been in London for 3 days, Leicester for 3 days. Now it's time to go back It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
From Leicester, we took a bus back to Heathrow Airport and another 8-hour plane ride back to JFK Airport in New York. This is where things got messy. See, the airline set us up traveling from JFK back to Kansas City. However, switching international to domestic flights meant our baggage wasn't transferred directly to the plane. So, although we could have made our flight, our bags wouldn't have made the 1 hour before departure rule, so we had to stay in Queens overnight.
Good morning, my neighbors! You! Yes! Yes! You too!
Then arrive back to the airport at 5 a.m., take a flight to Salt Lake City, and then fly back to Kansas City a few hours later, both missing a day of work and having to pay for a hotel. But when all was said and done, it was nice to be back home.
Oh, my boys! I missed you!
All in all, the trip to London and fishing in England was a blast. I definitely recommend it, and I can't wait to go back to chase down some barbel, tench, and take a shot at a Welsh catfish or some carp. If you've ever been to London or would like to, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to see. And if you want to watch my other planned videos for London, make sure you pop over to the Modern Day Outdoorsman channel and subscribe. I'll leave a link in the comments and the description. If you haven't hit that like or subscribe yet, please consider doing so. We'll catch you all in the next video, everyone. Take care, and as always, remember everyone, we're one planet, one family, game on.